Hello and welcome to another episode of Now You Novi. See, I got to get you in there.
There you go.
Now You Novi.
I love it.
We are an award-winning podcast with an award-winning superintendent of our just absolutely exclusive school district, I would say. The upper echelon of school districts, our Novi Community School Districts. Ben Mainka is in the hot seat today.
Appreciate you having me.
Thanks for coming. And I thought it was the perfect time to just talk about everything Novi schools related with, summer flu.
Summer always flies.
Why is that?
I think it's got to be a product of age, because when I was a kid, it always lasted so long, and now it's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. And I think as an educator, our biggest thing is when you go to Target and you see the back to school sign, right? But that back to school sign is way earlier.
It's like
than
July,
it used to
right?
be.
Like right after July 4th, it's
we
there.
We just started break,
Yep.
So I do think that's a thing. But it's at the same time, it's kind of bittersweet because we have a lot of staff that work year round. And that's a lot of times people don't realize that there's a lot of planning and a lot of things happening in the summer. And so we're actually really excited to have the kids come back, because we've been planning these things, and it's kind of like, okay, I can't wait for them to see some of this. So it's a blast, but we're very excited about the upcoming school year, and I can't thank you enough for having us on the show. I think what a beautiful studio and a great job you've done here. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we love our Novi school partners, and why don't you give us a little update of what's new? What are we so looking forward to? Like the issue of Engage, we were just talking off camera that I saw a great article. I haven't been over to look at it in person, but the gateway's new. But what's new at Novi Schools this year?
Yeah, so many things have been changing, and we're just really excited to continue to have really talented people in our organization that are forward thinking. I think when you have been designated as the top district in Michigan multiple years, and you're consistently in the top 5, top 10, you tend to get kind of complacent, right? And it's like, we're happy to just kind of maintain status quo. Let's not change too much, because if you change too much, then you might risk, your current status. And I'm just really proud of whether it's our Board of Education, our staff, our students, our families. We're really leaning into this idea that we want to be the best. And so that means we're going to continue to take risks. We're going to continue to innovate. We're going to continue to put ourselves out there and do things that either nobody else can or nobody else will. And so that's kind of one of the big hallmarks of being able to be a part of this great community. The partnership with the city and the police and fire and the chamber and just everything that's happening here in this great community is amazing. But so many new things happening in the district. One of the things that you just spoke about was this gateway. So I think most people, we joke, would confuse our high school athletic campus with almost like small college experience, because if you go to the back of our high school, one of the things that Novi has routinely had this question is, where do people gather? And we say on a Friday night, they're certainly gathering at our high school.
100%.
And so we said, let's create a space for the community and obviously for our students as well, where people can truly gather on a Friday night in the fall, or any event. And so we have kind of reconstructed the back of our high school. We have new restrooms, new entry to the stadium. There's kind of a whole new user experience there, new concession stands. Our students have a school store that they're going to have that's now going to have an outside experience.
Very cool.
There's bar top tables. We don't sell drinks, just to be clear, but there are kind of high top tables that overlook the field. And that whole kind of gateway was a part of a bigger project on the back end of the school, which has been just incredible. So anybody in the community is welcome to come by. We hope you will and see that. But that was actually a part of a bigger project in that back of the wing, where we actually have now opened up this fall. We're launching our new mechatronics lab, which is...
Say that again.
It's a mechatronics lab,
Okay,
which we're
that's
calling
new.
the CAT lab, which is the Center for Applied Technology.
Okay.
And really, what we really have a vision for at our high school is that kids are going to be able to get access to training and things that are going to be able to be making them career ready, so they could go out into the world and be able to do things right out of high school. And so this mechatronics lab features a partnership with Fanuc Robotics, and we have industry robots in the room, and kids will learn how to design. We have CNC machines, we have laser cutters, we have all of the equipment to teach kids about how to use these engineering pieces of equipment. And it's like something that you would just see at a really like a Big Ten university, and we've got it right there in the back of our high school. And the cool thing is that the program, which we'll be launching this year, is going to end up being a 2-year program where kids will actually earn a certificate in being able to be a certified Fanuc robotics operator, which they can take right into the industry and start working.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So high school's got some neat new things.
Yeah.
We've been watching along Taft Road the evolution of Meadows.
Yes, yes.
Where are we with that?
Well, I think that the community for a long time, the Novi Meadows facility has been kind of 2 houses. In fact, they were called houses. You had the 5th grade house, the 6th grade house. One of the things that has been a vision for the district for the past probably 6 to 7 years was we really want to create an intermediate school, which is a great experience for kids, because a lot of times 6th graders, they're just not quite ready to be with 7th and 8th graders. But 5th graders are getting a little old for elementary school. And so this intermediate experience is like the perfect way for kids to grow and flourish as they prepare themselves for that. But the vision was to bring the 2 houses together so that you'd have one facility where both 5th and 6th grade can be in a building. And that facility is coming online. I was just in there this morning, actually, and they're putting all the finishing touches on. And that facility is state of the art. I don't think you'll find another 5th and 6th grade building quite like that in the United States or the world, for that matter. And it's really just a prize for our community to be able to see. On September 16th, we're going to have an open house in the evening from 5 to 7 for the community. I would encourage everyone to come on out. We're going to start sending information out and mailers out about that. But basically, this is a facility that's in the front, right along Taft. You'll see it looks like it almost looked like an aircraft carrier was being built at the time, but it's a huge open learning space focused on teaching kids how to collaborate, work in a setting that's going to mirror more what schools and also the workplace looks like today. And then new athletic facility, new orchestra and band facility, art and science facility, new playground. Everything is just kind of gutted on the inside. So there's a small remnant of the old 5th grade house that remains, but we're really excited to see the faces of the kids coming up in a couple of weeks when they get to see that.
So this will be the first year that both 5th and 6th are in the new building.
Yes.
Okay.
And last year we opened up the front and the ground level just for 5th grade. 6th grade remained in the 6th grade house, and now the 6th grade house is under construction for multiple other facilities, but the new building will be open for the very first time to everybody this year. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's amazing.
What about the elementary schools? Anything new going on there? What parents are going to see?
Yeah, I think it's really it's something that you're not going to see as a community member from a visual, exterior perspective, but something that's required a tremendous amount of work is we're launching a new literacy program this year. So for those of you that are kind of in tune with what's happening in the education space, there's a lot of discussion around how we teach kids to read, write, speak, and listen. Okay, so these are kind of summed up as literacy skills. And in Novi, we're taking a very balanced and research-based approach, but we haven't had resources and materials to really do what we need to do and what the science of reading is saying we need to do for students. And so last year, we ran a full-scale trial where we had over 50 of our teachers piloting these different resources from multiple different vendors and companies. And through that exhaustive process, our staff really did a great job of pulling together the best and brightest of our people and resources. And so this year we're launching a new program. And in the trials with doing it this way, we saw unbelievable amounts of growth And, like I was speaking to earlier, in Novi, our kids do well. But to see the vast difference in just how much better they were doing with this program in the short period of time that we did the trial. So elementary wise, all of our kids are going to get access to this really high quality literacy instruction across every single classroom. And I know that that's not the big, pretty, shiny object that you'd see, but it's really the core of our work, is really helping kids learn.
It's the foundation for a student's learning, right?
That's right. Because they can draw, you can draw a connection. There's a lot of research that will draw connections to what a kid can do in terms of reading and literacy skills at third grade. And they can almost predict college success. And so it's really an important part of our business and our organization. And so that's why this was such a priority for us. So that's launching. And, you would think that our elementary teachers would be like, oh my gosh, I've got to change and do something different. Wow. They're like, thank you for these resources. They're really just leaning into it. And they're the ones really leading the charge. So it's been really fun to see.
What are you most excited going into this year? What's you've been here how many years?
This is I'm growing into year 2. I finished year 2. I'm going into year 3. So it's.
So you came about 2 years ago at this time?
I did. Yeah, this was really 2 years ago. I was just starting. In fact, I got hired a couple weeks before school started, and it's been a tremendous journey, and we've had so many, just very fortunate to have so many great people here. But I think I'm most excited to see us be able to now be intentional with a lot of the things that we've been doing. So I think anytime, there's a leadership change, the organization goes into a bit of shock, right? It's kind of, okay, there's new systems, new processes. And so we've chosen to address different things. And so now people are going to be able to start to see the intentionality with like, okay, well, that's connected to this, and then that's connected to this. And so those things kind of all coming together to kind of help explain the vision that we've had is going to be really neat to see. Seeing our staff and students just thrive and flourish that's why I do what I do. I think that's why most of our people come to work every day, and we have the best place in the world to do it. And so, I'm really excited to see year 3 where people are going to be able to see all the connections and intentionality with what we're doing.
That's awesome. Yeah. A lot of great things. The momentum I have seen since you've been here in the past couple of years just keeps moving forward, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon? Yeah, I know you're not resting on your laurels because we've been talking, and I know there is, we're blessed. We've said it here, right? We are blessed in Novi with so many amazing things, the quality of life, the education, the infrastructure. We're blessed. And I think when you live somewhere else or go to school somewhere else, you don't realize what an amazing place Novi is.
Correct, yeah.
And what's afforded and available to you. But you said it, we're not resting on that. You want to continue to strive to be the best. Once you would here, you got to keep pushing the bar and moving forward. What's coming up? Can we say what's coming up?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think we're at a point now where we're happy to talk about, I think the next frontier is Novi High School. So, Meadows coming online, which we talked about, is a beautiful facility that's going to help our kids tremendously. We're building those core foundational things at our elementary school. But your flagship is really your high school. And that's the place where you have that opportunity to really launch kids into, the next phase of their lives and help them be successful in whatever that is that they choose to do. But our high school is dated. It is a facility that was built, years ago and has undergone a lot of additions. And so there's, I think, a lot of people that'll be like, oh, that space is beautiful. That space is great. And it is. It's a great school. It's a big school. But we need to make sure that space actually meets the needs of what kids are going to need in the future. And so we, in 2025, are looking at, we have, the way that school millages operate. Schools are typically going to be going out every handful of years. We're not looking at doing anything that's going to ask the community to spend more money, but it's going to be asked for a renewal in 2025. And a big focus of that is going to be kind of reimagining our high school. We have to think about, when I talked about creating those pathways like the Mecca mechatronics lab? What are we doing for areas like health sciences, health and human services, the arts and humanities, right? What are we doing to address some of those other pathways where we have kids that we could prepare very, very well, just like we do for engineering and technology, to set them up for success so that wherever they go to school or whatever job they go into, they will be way better prepared than anywhere else that they could have gone. And so we have to have a facility that matches that. So I think there's an exciting vision that's starting to be curated within our community, within our staff, within our district about, what could the possibilities of Novi High School be. I think that education is changing with the advent of artificial intelligence and generative AI and all of those things that are taking place. And we're leaning into that. What does that look like for us to be able to help kids have those skills when they go into the workforce and know how to use those tools ethically and responsibly? So I think that's a big thing. And then another thing that I think is going to be on the future and the horizon, really, we read a book as a district this past year. I got the book for all of our staff, and really appreciative for the partnership with the Novi Public Library. Julie Farkas has done a great job curating a number of the books. And last I checked, The Anxious Generation, which is the book that we've been reading as a staff, has got a long wait list at the library. So it's taking off. But that book outlines a lot of, I think, important things for us as parents, as community members, as educators to think about for how are we helping kids be healthy and free of a lot of the things that maybe we didn't realize at an early age. So some of those things like screens and how much time kids are spending on screens. And we're very pro technology, but what are we doing to help kids learn those, skills of being socially interactive?
Absolutely.
And all of those components that lead to success, as a human being? We want to help kids thrive and flourish and develop those things. And sometimes we need to create some opportunities for that. At a young age, what are we doing to make sure kids have opportunity to have free play? And the example I sometimes will use, and I spoke about this on a podcast recently, was, when I was a kid and I got a Lego set, it was just a box of blocks and you figured out like how to create something. Right now, you can't buy a Lego set that doesn't come with an instruction manual that's 25 pages long.
That's true.
And so we have to get back to making sure kids have the opportunity to be creative, to be able to learn and express those things. And so school is a great place where you can build some of these structures. So what that looks like, we have some idea, but I think that's going to be something in the future that we're really kind of leaning into, to say we really have to create successful young people that are going to be contributing to society in ways that we need them to, and be the leaders of our future. And they're going to be the ones that take care of us after all. So
it's so energizing to hear you talk about the youth of the community and the direction. And I think the city is just blessed to have you and your team leading our school system, because it definitely is one of the crown jewels of Novi.
Thank you. That means a lot. And I have to say, I am simply the product of great people that I get to work with. I'm one member of the team, and we have incredibly gifted people that have chosen to come work here in this community. And I just get to be along for the ride, and it's a blast. And so, the partnerships that we have with the city, with our local partners, has been tremendous. And I'm excited to see where that goes as well.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
How many students are coming back here in a couple weeks? How many students?
Well, we educate anywhere from 6,600 to 7,000 kids every year.
Okay.
And, that's at least double the amount of parents that we're working with as well.
Right. Sometimes maybe more challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
I said it, not you.
Yeah. No, I mean, we love our parents, but usually the problems that schools have are not kid problems. They're adult problems, whether that be staff or parents. But, our parents have been wonderful and supportive, and, we want to work with our families. This isn't, we always talk about the cogs of the wheel, right? It's not just one entity. It takes us all kind of working together. So
similar in the city, right?
Yeah.
Residents are a cog in the wheel. We need engaged residents that want to see the city move forward for us all to be successful, similarly to you all.
Totally. Exactly.
Well, thanks for joining me. Any parting words you want to share?
Absolutely. I would just say, first of all, again, is to reiterate, thank you for having me on, but also thank you to this great community and for the citizens and residents who have made it possible for us to do what we do. Thank you for having faith in us. And I would encourage people to come out, get involved. We have community engagements, town hall meetings, open houses. We would love for our community members, whether you have a student in the schools or not, to come and take a look at what we're doing. And, that has an impact on our overall community. So I think we would encourage and welcome anyone to reach out to us. We'd love to give you a tour. We'd love to, take you around the facilities and see what we're doing here in Novi.
What's the date for the open house again? September 16th?
September 16th, yeah.
Okay.
5 to 7 p.m. And that'll be at the New Meadows building. You'll want to park in the back because there's limited parking in the front of the building. But it should be an opportunity for us to really showcase something that I think the community will be really proud of.
Exciting. And we got Wixom Road open free before school starts.
I tell you what, I told Mr. Cardenas that was whatever yeoman's effort took place to get that done ahead of schedule. Kudos to the city, because that will help us tremendously, especially at Deerfield and the middle school.
That was supposed to go till October.
Yeah.
So the contractor
Crazy.
really knocked it out there.
Amazing.
He did great for you all and
Yeah.
your school across the way there, CC.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. I know Catholic Central will be happy. Father Fulton will be very glad about that. So.
Thanks for joining me, my friend.
Thank you.
And good luck
Thank
to
you.
you and all the teachers, staff, and students as they enter the 24-25. Can't believe it's school
Crazy.
year.
Yeah, we were welcoming our youngest new Wildcats, and they're the class of 2038.
Oh, my word. 2038. Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll end on Go Wildcats.
Go Wildcats.
Go Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining Ben and I. And if you have a youngster going back to school, we wish them all the best. And Now You Novi. Take care.